only West Ham that can happen to. Genk 2, West Ham 2, finished at the Genk Stadium in Belgium. What a game for the neutral, but I'm joined by Mike for this instant match reaction and match review. Just to start things off, Mike, how are you currently feeling at this precise moment in time?
Gutted, really, mate. I mean, because we've had enough chances to win that by 3 or 4 goals. I mean, no problem. First half, they were a better team by far, and we could have been 2 or 3 down. But second half, we were so much better. I thought Ben Rama was excellent second half. And the 3 good changes, well, I don't know so much about the Souček one after that header, but it changed the game. And then we're on top of them. And we should have scored at least 3 more, at least.
Let's go through the game and go get the people in the chat. Take the point in the end. We will get on to. I just feel a bit gutted.
Yep.
To be honest, it started off on the 4th minute with Mike. You probably could remember a Pantsil.
Yeah. I
probably not.
Not him.
Probably not Joseph Pantsil that took that helped Genk take the lead in the 4th minute. Who were you laying the blame on here? Areola, Diop, or a bit of both?
Diop for being dozy. I think he just wasn't switched on. He just didn't track. He just didn't track his run. I think they showed it at half time. Joe Cohen was talking about it. The 2 centre halves were too far apart, and Diop didn't track his run. Dawson got sucked in a little bit, and I thought Diop was a little bit off it. Whole game he was a little bit dozy today. I thought just a little bit dozy. Just wasn't reacting quick enough.
Yeah. Do you think Areola should have done better, or was that being harsh?
Maybe, but being a little bit harsh, mate. I think he got a hand on it, and once he got a hand on it, you'd hope he'd saved it, but he made a couple of good saves after that.
Gutted about the own goal. I sat back and said, only West Ham. And then, the first half kind of went out, and I thought that we were lucky to be 1-0 because they missed. Ito basically virtually nearly missed an open goal. Onuachu missed 2 free headers. Going into half time, did you feel almost a little bit lucky to only be 1 down?
Definitely, mate. Yeah, thought we improved the last 10 minutes of the first half, and we had those 2 chances where the ball was on the line again. If those 2 that went in, I think we'd have really gone on and won the game quite easily. But hey, I did feel as though that could have been worse. It could have been 2 or 3-0 down.
Oh yeah, 100%. But half time, at half time, would you have taken a point?
Definitely, mate. Yeah, I think I said before the game that I was taking a point. Everyone was saying they was probably the 2nd best team in this group, or the toughest team in this group for us. They proved it a bit tonight, I think, because they had a little bit about them. They were a lot better at home, and I thought they would be. And I think I predicted a 1-1 draw, didn't I, yesterday?
I think you did.
So, yeah, I wasn't shocked.
I thought. I said on the preview lineup reaction, and as the game went on, I said that I think Genk are going to bring something different at home. I thought their fans gave them a big boost, and just everything. They were at home. It was a massive game for them, a big English club coming to town, and definitely in the first half they put a lot of work, they put a lot of effort, they put everything into that first half, and it paid off. Maybe not as much as it should have done in the end.
Well, at the end of the day, Jake, they had to beat us tonight.
Yeah,
it was down to them to force a game. They had to win. I mean, the draw was no good for them. They really had to win that game, and they started out in the right way. They've had a right crack at us, and it's still good experience for us. I mean, that's good experience for a lot of players out there tonight to go away from home and play a team that's played in the Champions League. They're no mugs. Yeah. And we stood up pretty well to it. A lot of players have, but I'm just frustrated that we've missed so many chances.
The whole vibe on Twitter seems to be, we're disappointed, but in the grand scheme of things, we would take a point and we move on. And I think if it's a draw in the other game tonight, we're technically nearly mathematically qualified anyway.
Yeah, definitely. I think a few players needed that game. Sufel looked a little bit rusty, so he needed that game. I'd like to see Kroll come on earlier. But I'll give him his due. He made the subs, the good subs in the second half, because Nobes was a bit of a passenger, I'm afraid. You know, they had too much legs in midfield for him. And that turned it around. And I thought Lanzini and Benrahma were brilliant.
Let's bring James on. I can imagine coming back from the pub, James.
Yes, I am, mate. Saeed Benrahma, don't ever doubt him. Class.
Yeah, he was.
Class,
He
mate.
was.
Different goo, mate. He was.
I'm not being funny. I've seen many people criticising him recently, and at the end of the day, I think he deserved his goals tonight. He played absolutely phenomenal. Areola was good, but I tell you what, we was lucky in the first half, mate, not to be 3-0 down.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. So let's go on to the second half, and Michael, come to you first. It's almost like we flicked a switch, Nelly. All of a sudden, we came up. We had that bit of intensity that we were lacking in the first half. It looked a little bit more like West Ham, and then we made the substitutions. 30 seconds later, we were back in the game at 1-1.
I call for them subs. You know, Nobes was struggling on the pace of the game. It was too quick for him. But I must admit, you know, the 10 minutes that he did play in the second half or whatever, he was a lot better than he was in the first. Arthur was off it. He was just off it. You know, I don't know. He just looked lost. Sufel didn't have a great game either. So there was a few he could have dragged off. But hey, those 3 subs and Benrahma he was just different class second half. He was by far the best player on the pitch. And that goal he scored was Hazard-like almost, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was. And another player that did impress me as well, almost, to be honest, at times I had to see actually who it was because they were both playing really, really well, was Manuel Lanzini, James. Did you think he played well tonight?
Yeah, he done okay. First half, he wasn't so good. Second half, he sort of livened up a bit. But I must admit, the changes helped at the right time. What a difference we are when we've got not slow players on the pitch. I thought Arthur was a disgrace tonight. Arthur Mazuaki tonight was absolutely a disgrace, mate. I thought he was terrible. I thought he'd done absolutely nothing to jeopardise the game. And then when we made that triple substitution, we looked a completely different team. We looked a much better balanced team. And then we scored within about 30 seconds. 60 seconds.
30 seconds, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that our first team attack was then on the bench bar Mikel Antonio, couldn't you, Mike? Because then all of a sudden we were putting that press and we were putting them under pressure. It looks like West Ham again. Whereas in the first half, it almost reminded people a little bit of West Ham in the past.
I was calling, honestly, for Bowen to come on for Antonio because I thought Antonio looked off it. He just looked off it. He didn't look up for it. I don't know why, but he just wasn't at it. And but fair dues to Moyes, he changed it, and it totally worked. I mean, at the back, we struggled the first half. Dawson and Diop just they didn't get it together. But hey, they didn't have that much to do until the last 5 minutes of the game in the second half.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's take some comments and then we'll come back to it. James, I'm just going to mute you for a second because we've got a bit of wind coming through there. So let's go here and say. Phil says the amount of chances we had was unreal. Was definitely confident that we would score. Yeah, we always do look like scoring. One thing I love about us is that we've always got get chances to score. You always feel like we are in the game. Burr made a huge difference as he always does. Phil said, I said that earlier. Benrahma scored twice. Didn't think he actually would. He did actually on the lineup reaction. But let's talk about a few individual players that weren't quite up to it. And whilst James gets his headphones sorted out, we will go. Mike, Sufal looked off it today.
Yeah, right off it, mate. He hasn't played, has he? To be fair to him, he's been out for a while. He's had that injury. He needs game time, and he had some game time tonight. But yeah, I mean, Ben Johnson starts in front of him at the moment, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Sufel, he's going to have a little bit of time playing cup games and European games for a while, I think. If Ben Johnson keeps playing like he is, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to drop him.
Yeah, James, do you think Soufal needed to put in an out of this world performance tonight to have any chance of getting back into the Premier League starting lineup for Sunday?
I think Ben Johnson's there, mate. Now I think Ben Johnson's in there, and he ain't taking that space. Kafal, he done okay. He was crossing balls in at the end. He a better cross, and we'll win the game 3-2. And Ben Rama gets his hat trick. Yeah. Dear, it's just a choker that we sort of end up giving it away at the end. But let's be honest, as fans, we should have been 3-0 down at half time because we was absolutely diabolical in the first half.
Yeah.
Like, really bad. Like, I've never seen us that bad. And I think we've got out of there with a point, in a way. We deserve a point in the end for the second half performance, but the first half, we was lucky to get out of there. Like, let's be honest, we could have been 3 or 4-0 down at half time. That's how bad it was. But Kafal, I think Ben Johnson's got that space there, mate. I think Kafal's got a fight to get back in. If I'm honest.
It's a Diop, Mike. It reminded me of his performance of being quite vulnerable and almost coming up against Chris Wood from Burnley last season.
Yeah.
And
he just got himself in a horrible position, Jake. You're right. It was just like that, Chris Wood against Burnley. He got himself in a horrible position, and I'll tell you what, if he's got Zuma alongside him, he's a much better player. I mean, him and Zuma, I think there's more, there's more chat between them. It might be because they're both French and whatever, but him and Dawson have got away with it in a few games, but tonight he just looked a bit dozy. He wasn't on his toes.
Yeah. James, I thought we saw a little bit of Issa Diop at the pass tonight as well.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. One of his best performances. I thought Craig Dawson wasn't any better, even though he got some headers on target. He had a great header in the second half.
He did.
Oh. Yeah. If he gets out on target, I think that's a goal. And yeah, but you know what? You've got to give credit to Genk, mate. They're a good side, and I knew that was going to be a tough game.
Yeah,
I had a feeling. I just thought, you know what? The draw does not surprise me, but it's one of them ones. We've had a good game tonight. We've got away with it with a point, and we should appreciate the point, really.
Yeah. Let's bring our next guest on. Phil, from the lineup reaction, how are you feeling after that?
Quite an interesting game to watch. I must say, it definitely wasn't boring. Like James said, we weren't really that great in the first half, but there was always the chances that we should have taken. But look, it was a tough game. Genk came out, done pretty well. It was good competition for us today. Once we become it was 2-1 up, I was like, good, just control the tempo and everything. And then just unlucky with that own goal at the end. Very disappointing, but what can we do? We did the best we could.
Yeah. The second half, Ben Rama, all of the players just seemed to come in their own, Mike. And to be fair, Ben Rama could have had 4 in the end.
Yeah, I mean, they just couldn't stop him. I mean, he was going by him for fun. Like I said, that goal was almost like the Hazard goal against us. I mean, he was brilliant. But he was playing just behind the front two again, wasn't he? I mean, he was playing in the middle, and that's where we need him. That's where he's got to play. He's got to be given that position now. I think tonight is a good learning curve for us. It's a tough game. Genk are no mugs. They play Champions League football. I mean, they've just won their 2 games in a row, 6-something. I did predict a draw. I thought it was going to be tough. But hey, we don't need to be too upset about this because that's 2 points they can't get now anyway.
Oh yeah, I do think, to be honest, that they did fear him in the second half, James, and you can see that, by the way, in the second half when he was running forward, they were knocking him off the ball, they were pulling into the ground, they were pulling his shirt, they were pulling him back, and it does show an element of they were scared of Saeed Benrahma in that second half because at times he was unstoppable.
He's class, mate. He's class. And when people start believing that he's class, then they will go, you know what, we've got a class player in our ranks. That second goal, if that was anyone else, if that was Bowen or Fornals, everyone would be going through the roof. I just hope that people go through the roof for Ben Rama. We didn't get the result that we wanted tonight. We wanted the win, but we got the draw. But Benny's a class player, mate. And listen, I've been on your channel a long time, and I've said it ever since he arrived. I said this geezer will be the next level, and tonight he proved it. He got the ball, he turned players, he basically grabbed hold of the ball and said, "This is my ball, I'm going to make sure I'm pulling this team forward," and that's what he done. He's a top player. He could have had an hat-trick, but I tell you what, we've got a good player there, and let's be honest, he's dug us out of an hole tonight. We could have lost that game quite comfortably, so we've got to respect him. It's a good performance from him tonight. I'm thoroughly proud of the geezer, 100%.
Yeah, it was very, very good from Saeed Benrahma, and you could tell everything was starting to bond together in the, like it does in the first team when those subs were made in the second half. Phil.
Oh yeah, Benrahma did a really good performance. I was happy with everyone who come on early on in the second half. We got that quality on the bench, and they can all make a difference, really. So, it's good to have a fairly strong bench when called upon. So we just got to make sure no one gets injured. Because it's a typical West Ham thing, isn't it? Everyone starts getting injured, then we struggle, don't we?
We seem to, yeah. But Mikel Antonio, he seemed a little bit off it tonight, Mike.
Yeah, I thought he was right off it, to be honest. Just didn't look at it at all. A couple of times he made the wrong decision, and his shooting or he just shot straight against a player when maybe should have just laid it off. There was a couple of times he should have got in the box and he didn't. I don't think he looked at it tonight. He just didn't look at it. But hey, we know what we get from him. He's always going to be a bit inconsistent, and at least Bowen came on and Benrahma upped it. I mean, so it didn't really matter in the end. But he did the right thing getting him off. He made the right subs. He got the right players. He got the right players off, and the right players on.
Yeah. Let's take this comment here. Watching from US Connecticut. Hope you're well. Coming on, still top tier team, and it does show, James, how far we've come. When we come and sit here and we think, that was very unlucky from Souček near the end, but we are effectively, unless things go very badly, through to the last 16, and the point was good, and we've got to take it in the end, and it just shows we're really disappointed from that, but it wasn't really, really bad.
No, first half was really, really bad. I was fuming at half time. I was thinking, what the hell was going on? This is the old West Ham I'm watching here. This is like, we're supposed to improve West Ham, and then we're watching a team that just can't defend, can't attack, can't cross, can't do anything. Second half, I've got to admit, I think Mike just said it about the subs, right? He made the subs at the right time, and we looked a completely different team. When Souček is on the pitch with Rice, they are a good unit, and he sat there and he went, right, and our midfield was a lot better. I think Antonio, he gets a lot of praise, right? But I'm sorry, I'm going to be a bit controversial here. I think he gets away with murder, mate, at West Ham. He really does, because he's got no one to challenge him. If we had a better striker, right, I don't think Antonio would play half as many games as he does. Like, I thought he was awful tonight, and there's no excuse really with Antonio, right? It's a big game tonight. He's supposed to be up for it. He was nowhere to be seen. I agree with Mike totally. But you know what? Fornals come on, look really good. Bowen come on. And one thing I will say, we've got this never say die attitude at the club. And I must admit, that's hard work and that's commitment. And I must admit, I'm proud of the boys for doing that. It's a bit of pill, though, this one, if I'm honest. We should have won the game. We could have lost the game. And we end up drawing the bloody game. So, you know what I mean? It's one of them ones. But we roll on to Liverpool next.
Yeah, it was an absolute roller coaster, Phil. As James just sums up there, in many instances we could have been 3 down, or we could have scored an extra 3, and we would have been absolutely loving life. It's just the way the things went today.
Oh, spot on. You know, the chances they had in the first half as well. You know, it was lucky. You know, a couple of good saves from Areola. Defensively, you know, I don't know what it is. But it's like amateur passing. You're passing the ball in your own half, in your own penalty box, and then not clearing it out properly. Stuff like that riles me up. But when we did attack, you know, we really looked like scoring. There was so many great chances, you know, a lot of squandered ones. Second half, you know, we hit the ground running all right. When we did get the goals, it was brilliant. And then they fought back. It was just end to end. It's like I'd say it was entertaining, especially for the neutral.
Yeah. To sum it up, and I'll go to your final thoughts in just a second. Oh, James is home. Look at that. Look at that.
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire. To sum it up, I'll give my final thoughts, then we'll go around the 3 on the screen. I think it was definitely a game of 2 halves where we ended up looking like we were cruising to victory, and only West Ham that could happen to. Very unlucky. I've already seen some idiots absolutely slating Thomas Souček on Twitter. Just leave off it. Absolutely leave off it. And they've had it back from right West Ham fans as well on Twitter. But we're always going to get that. But unfortunately, that happened, and we get a point in the end, which, in the grand scheme of things, I think we take. And if it's a draw tonight, we're near enough. Qualify to the last 16. Take a couple of comments quickly. Jake, teams like Atletico Madrid and Barcelona, Dortmund, Barcelona can drop in. Yeah, and that's crucial when we win this group, because if we finish second, we then got to go through playoff with one of these big name sides that have dropped out of the Champions League. So that's what's crucial, that we win the group, and we are on course to do so. We would have confirmed that tonight, but you know, we just have to leave that, hopefully, and get that done next week. Mike, final thoughts, my man.
Hey, mate, like I said, I predicted a draw. I was taking a draw. Like James said, exactly. We could have been battered in the first half. We improved so much in the second. Just a bit frustrated that we didn't take a few more of those chances. But as for those people slating Souček, get a life, man. The guy's been brilliant for us. Absolutely brilliant. You know, he couldn't do much about that. He tried to clear it. It came off his head. You know, it's not his fault.
There we go. James, final thoughts?
Game of 2 halves, mate, for me. First half, I don't like to swear in your channel, Jake, because you're under me, but shockingly shit is the word I want to use. I thought it was outplayed, outmuscled, outrun, overrun in midfield. Second half, Said Benrahma turned up, mate. I'm hoping this is the beginning of the Said Benrahma player that I have been pushing for a long time. We looked good. We looked very good in the second half. We kept going. Souček's unlucky with the goal, let's be honest. Like, ball's coming, he's clipped off his nut and he's gone in the corner. But do you know what? I think we would have took a point at half time for how bad we was playing. I'll take a point now. And we've got a big game Sunday. And I think we just got away with it tonight, if I'm honest. If you want to be really honest, I think we got away with it. I think, as I say, the first half, we could have been obliterated in the first half, 2 and 3. And let's be honest, Areola, if that man is not signed by the end of the season, that's a crime against football, mate. It's not a crime against anything else. It's a crime against football. He has to be signed at West Ham. He kept us in the game. My mate said to me, he was world class tonight. Areola, he was saving, and he needs to be signed. But not a great performance, but we got something out of the game, and we move on. Liverpool next.
Perfect. Phil, final thoughts?
Yeah, pretty much what James and Mike said. You know, it was a game of 2 hours. It could have been a lot worse. Like, it could have been a lot better from us. You know, obviously looked better in the second half. Should have taken more of those chances. You know, at the end of the day, we're still unbeaten. We're still top. Yeah, Souček unlucky with the own goal. I've seen worse own goals out there. We're still here. We're still strong. Roll on, Liverpool. Hopefully, everyone gets a good kick up the arse, and we'll give them a good game.
And final comment I want to take, heard the travelling supporters were massive though. Yeah, I couldn't stream here. Can anyone confirm supporters came through big? Yeah, we pretty much, despite the rules, laws, and cancellations of flights and everything, we pretty much filled out our allocated away end. We've got to give it to the fans that the just over 1,000 that were in there. You could hear them, and leading up to half time, you could hear they probably sung David Moyes' Canterbury Army for about 6 or 7 minutes straight. And then when we scored that second goal, it wasn't Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Does anyone know what they were singing?
Everyone.
No, West Ham are massive everywhere we go.
Yeah.
West Ham are massive everywhere we go. Fans were absolutely incredible. So hats off to the fans that were out there. I know Dom and Marshy were out there. John from the food banks was out there. Absolutely fantastic. So anything you three would like to add before we head?
Game of two halves got away with it tonight, but let's focus on Liverpool now. Big game for the international break. Let's get something out of that.
Definitely. And we'll leave it there. Massive game. Hopefully we can end off this part of the season on a high before the international break, where we sit on our sofas on a Saturday and Sunday afternoon and wonder what the heck shall we do. But thank you very much for watching. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new around here. Come on, you irons. Unlucky tonight, but in the end, to be honest, we will take it, and we are millimetres away from qualifying to the last 16 of the Europa League. We'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye. And let's hope Vitesse beat Spurs tonight, because Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Cheers, guys. Bye.